Okay, I finished my hat. This is how it looks so far. We have a normal beanie hat, and I put for the band 17 rounds, not 15 but 17 rounds. You can go on with how many rounds you need to complete the band of your hat, of course. Now we have to put the air flaps, and for the air flaps we work like this. First we'll work the one and then we'll work the other. Now here is the end of my round, my last round, and now for the flaps, air flaps, we'll work 8 rows. Of course we'll work in rows. So I cut the yarn, but it's not important, you can go on and join the new color. Now this is my last my first stitch, and from this one, from the next one, I will count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, I will put a marker. So not this, the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is my 6th double crochet, and on these 6 stitches we'll work the first air flap. But to work in rows we need a border, so we need 1 double crochet at the beginning and at the end of our row, to create the borders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we need 1 and 1. And I will begin in this one, and the double crochet of the border, it will be worked in into the previous row, not into the next, as we worked the stitch, the brick stitch. So chain 1 and work the first double crochet, which is the, oops, I said double crochet, which is the border. Now we have here a double crochet, so we begin with our stitch. We'll work a double crochet, then a chain 1, skip the double crochet of the previous row and work a double crochet into next row, as we did so far. Chain 1 and again into chain 1 and again to the next double crochet, work a double crochet, chain 1 and again into the next double crochet, work a double crochet, chain 1 and again into the next double crochet, work a double crochet. Okay, chain 1, we skip this. This is our 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we make a chain 1, so sorry, I was a little bit confused. So now we are at the end of our pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I will work a double crochet again, my border double crochet here at the end of my row into the double crochet of the last row, last round. Actually, I will work another double crochet, and now the first double crochet is worked and the last are worked into the double crochet of the last round. So these are the border double crochets, and these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the pattern double crochet. Okay, now we have to change the color again, so let's change the color. I can cut the yarn. Okay, and now let us begin with the next row. So chain 1 and turn, and you have to work the tails on the wrong side here. Okay, now let's work our first double crochet, which is the border double crochet. So yarn over and work a double crochet here where we work the border double crochet. So the first double crochet. Okay, now we can begin with our pattern. So now here we have a double crochet into the last row, but we want to work into the next row, not into the last but into the next row, which is actually our round, our last round of the hat. So we'll chain 1 to skip this double crochet, and we'll work into the next double crochet here, a double crochet, and now we'll go on with our pattern. Chain 1 to skip this and work a double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1 to skip this of the last row, so chain 1 and continue on like this. Chain 1 and work a double crochet here. It's a little bit tricky, but not very. Hope you understand. So now we have here a double crochet. We have to skip with a chain 1 and to work our last double crochet, which is the double crochet of the border. So here into the double crochet of the border. Okay, and now we finished our second row. Okay, so this is our second row, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets and 6 chain 1 spaces. So we'll alternate 5 double crochets and 6 chain 1 spaces in one row, and 6 double crochets and 5 chain 1 spaces in the next row. So we'll go on alternating like this. Okay, cut your yarn and change the color, and this will be our third row of the air flap. Okay, now chain 1 and turn. The tails must be on the wrong side. Okay, and now look what we have here. First of all, we have to work our border double crochet, so let's work it like this with the tails. Okay, and now what we have here, we have our first double crochet, so we'll work a double crochet into this double crochet because we work the pattern. Then chain 1, skip this double crochet, and into the next here work a double crochet. Okay, now chain 1, skip the double crochet into the last row and work a double crochet into the next. Again, chain 1, skip the double crochet of the last row and work a double crochet into next. Chain 1, skip the double crochet and work a double crochet into next. Okay, so we begin the pattern with a double crochet, so we have to finish the pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we have to finish our pattern with a double crochet, which is this one here. So chain 1 here, this, can you see it? This is our last double crochet, and of course the double crochet into the double crochet of the border. Okay, so that's it. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets and only 5 chain 1 spaces, as you can see. So we alternate. Don't be confused by the borders. We need the borders because when we finish our row with a chain 1, we have to put another double crochet to finish, the pattern, the row. Okay, now I will change again my color. Oops, like this. I just wanted to cut my yarn because it's okay. Now chain 1 again and turn, and now we are working into our 4th row of the flap, air flap, sorry. Now the double crochet of the border, here it is. Now here we have 6 double crochets and 5 chain 1 spaces. This means that in this row we'll work 5 double crochets and 6 chain 1 spaces. So here we have our first double crochet to skip. So chain 1 to skip and work into this row, into our 2nd row, our first double crochet of the pattern, then chain 1, skip this double crochet and work into your 2nd row, your double crochet, then chain 1 and again into the next double crochet of the 2nd row, work a double crochet, then chain 1 and again into the next double crochet of the 2nd row, work a double crochet, chain 1, and we have our last double crochet here of the 2nd row to work in a double crochet. Then we have to work a chain 1 to skip this double crochet, and now we have to work only our border double crochet, which is worked on the top of the double crochet of the previous row. Here is my border double crochet. So here it is. No, it's not. I took only 1 loop and I need 2 loops actually. So let's try to take 2 loops here. Okay, that's it. Now it's okay. So we finished our 4th row, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets and 6 chain 1 spaces. Okay, now this is something that we have to cut. Okay, now I will change again my color. Okay. And I want to begin my 5th row. So chain 1 and turn again and work the tails on the wrong side. Now let's work our border double crochet and let's see what we have here. We have a chain 1 space, and if we have a chain 1 space, we need to work our first double crochet here into the first double crochet of the 3rd row. So let's work it. Okay, now chain 1, skip the double crochet of the 4th row and work into the 3rd row a double crochet. Again, chain 1, skip the double crochet of the 4th row and work a double crochet into the 3rd row. Chain 1 and again the same thing. Chain 1 and again another double crochet, then chain 1 and the last double crochet is here. We have a chain 1, so here we'll work a double crochet into the last double crochet of the 3rd row and the border double crochet. By now I think you understand, I don't know, the idea, hopefully. Okay, now we need to cut the yarn and to change again the color. I forget to cut the yarn here, so I will cut it now. And to change again the color. So now we have here 5 rows and we need 3 more to finish the flap, air flap, sorry. So I will change again my color, chain 1 and turn. Look what we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets and only 5 chain 1 spaces. So this means that in this 6th row we'll work only 5 double crochets and 6 chain 1 spaces. So as I said, we alternate this formula. Okay, now here we have our double crochet. Sorry, first of all, we don't have to forget to work our double crochet, border double crochet into the last double crochet, last row. Okay, now here we have 1 double crochet, so we'll put a chain 1. Okay, and now into the next double crochet we'll work a double crochet and we'll go on like this with our pattern. It's easy. It's a little bit difficult to understand the beginning of the row. So if you begin with a chain 1, you have to finish with a chain 1 and double crochet border. If you begin with a double crochet, so with the double crochet border and a double crochet, you have to begin with a double crochet and a double crochet border. So we begin with a chain 1, so we have to end with a chain 1 and of course our double crochet border. I will work the tails too here. It's a little mess with the tails. Okay. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, sorry, I lost the rounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is my 6th row, just 2 more rows, and we finish with our first air flap. And the second one, it's the same thing. So this is the difficult part. Chain 1 and turn your work. And now let's work our first double crochet, which is our double crochet of the border. So let's work first of all this double crochet. And now let's see, we began with a chain 1 space, our last row. So we will begin our row with a double crochet here. Double crochet, chain 1, skip the double crochet, and into the 5th row work a double crochet. Chain 1, skip the double crochet, and into the 5th row work a double crochet. Again, chain 1, skip the double crochet, into the 5th row work a double crochet. Chain 1 and into the 5th row work a double crochet. And now we begin here with a double crochet, so we have to end with a double crochet. Chain 1, and here into the last double crochet of the 5th row work a double crochet, and again don't forget about the double crochet of our border. Okay, now we have to work only 1 row to end this first air flap, and let's get started. Change the color again and chain 1 and turn. Don't worry about the tails, because then we'll work a border, a final border, and it will be okay. Now let us work first our border double crochet here. Okay, now we begin with a double crochet, began the previous row, so the 7th row. Now we'll begin this row with a chain 1. We skip the double crochet and we'll work here a double crochet into the 6th round, so 8 with 6. Chain 1 and work a double crochet here into the next double crochet of the 6th row. Sorry. We are working in rows. Chain 1 and again a double crochet here into the 6th double crochet. Chain 1 and again a double crochet here. Chain 1 and again a double crochet into the 6th row. So we begin with a chain 1, we'll end with a chain 1, and of course our border double crochet. This is, oops, sorry, I just wanted to work the tails. Okay, now into the last double crochet, which is the border double crochet, work a double crochet. So this is what we have. We completed our first air flap with 8 rows of double crochets. Now I can cut the yarn, oops, like this, and the secure knot, and here we are. Okay, don't worry about the tails, I said before too. Now for the next air flap we'll go on like this. Let us count 1, 2, 3, so from the next double crochet of the round, last round. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 and 15. Okay, and now we'll count 6. 1 2 1 2. Sorry, because I need my marker, so here is where I will begin to count 6. This is the first. 1 2 3 4 5 6, and we'll begin into our 7th with the same colors, of course. Our slip knot. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, and into the 7th here stitch we'll put our double crochet border, and let's go on and work our first row. So we have here a double crochet. Okay, so a chain 1 and a double crochet here, and we'll work a double crochet, then chain 1 and again a double crochet, chain 1 and again a double crochet, chain 1 and again a double crochet. Okay, chain 1 and again a double crochet. Now we have 1 2 3 4 5, so we need one more, chain 1 and again a double crochet, and into the stitch with the marker we'll put our border double crochet here. Okay, just continue on for another 7 rounds as we did before with this air flap, and then I'll be back to show you how to finish your hat. So I finished my second flap, air flap 2, and now to end our hat we'll work a border. So here at the back side of the hat I will work the border with 4 strands of the yarn that I work with the project, 4 colors, different colors, and I worked all my project with a 4.5 millimeters hook, and I will work the border with a 5 millimeters hook. So this is my slip knot, and insert your hook in one stitch here on the back side, is not important, okay, of the, not the last but the next row. This is my brown row, okay, and work a chain 1 and another chain 1. The first chain 1 is for the single crochet, and the second chain 1 is to skip this double crochet. And now again into our brown round, insert your hook and work a single crochet, sorry, and a chain 1, and then continue on like this. So actually we work the pattern but not with double crochets, but with single crochets and chain 1. Okay, oops. So single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet, chain 1, and again single crochet, chain 1, and we go on like this with single crochet, chain 1, and into the last chain 1 space here. So we did our we made our single crochet, we don't chain one, we just skip this last chain one space and we insert our hook into around the first double crochet border of the first row of the flap, air flap, so like this, and we make a single crochet. And now single crochet around every double crochet border for a total of 8. Now we have 8 rows, so for a total of 8 single crochets like this. I have just one single crochet to put here, and now I will work into my single crochet, into my double crochets of my brown round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I will insert my hook here and work one single crochet and then into the next, but I don't want to chain one, only the single crochets. Okay, like this. And another one here. And now we are ready to put our lace, and we will work like this: a chain of 21, 3, 4. So I made my chain of 21, and now keep your finger on the last chain worked and work another 4 chains, 3 and 4, and insert your hook into this last chain where you kept your finger and work a slip stitch. Now chain 2, skip 2 chains and into the third insert your hook and make a slip stitch. Again, chain 2, skip 2 chains and into the third make a slip stitch. Oops. Then again, chain 2 and count 2 chains into the third, work a slip stitch. Again, chain 2, count 2 stitches, 2 chains, and into the third insert your hook and work a slip stitch. And again, chain 2, count 2 chains, and into the third insert your hook and work a slip stitch. Again, chain 2, count 2 stitches, and into the third insert your hook and work a slip stitch. Now we have 2 more chains, so chain 2 and work on into the same single crochet here where you begin, a slip stitch. Okay, like this. And now continue on, oops, with single crochets into the next double crochet here, another one here, this is what we have. Okay, now skip this one and work around the post of the last double crochet of the last row, a single crochet, and we are ready to go on around the post of our double crochets border of the air flap, like this, with our 8 double crochets, like this. So we are working around the post of our double crochets. Now this is our last, and the same thing, we skip this chain 1 space and we go into the next, under the next chain 1 space in this double crochet, and we'll work a double crochet, a single crochet, sorry, and a chain 1, and continue on the pattern: single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and look what we have so far. I want to show you. We began here and we go on all around and make the same thing for the other flap until we reach the end here. So I finished all around my border. I'm here at the end. I worked my last stitch, single crochet, chain 1, oops, chain 1, and insert your hook under your first chain 1 here, worked, and make a slip stitch to join. Okay, here we are. And now cut your yarn, and here we have. Of course, this is this yarn. We have to lose the ends of this yarn that we left. Here we have. And here it is, my hat with my air flaps. Oops, yes, like this. And now what I want to do is in this chain 4 space here, I want to put a pom-pom, 2, of course, 2 pom-poms. And now to complete our hat with air flaps, I want to put 2 pom-poms on my 2 laces here. So to make this pom-pom, I will use, of course, my 4 strands. Here, 1, 2, 3, oh my gosh, of yarn. So my 4 colors that I used to make the border. Okay, here I am. This is my dog. And something rectangular, and the length, you can use a paper, a cardboard, or anything you want, of course, something rectangular. And the length, it's the length of your pom-pom, so for me it's okay, this. So we put the tails like this. There must be the same. I will cut them just to be okay. And now put them like this and go on and fold around this once and twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, and 9 and 10. Where we are here, and now again here. where we begin. Now we can cut the yarn, and now we need one thread here, one piece of yarn, one of the colors that you used for, okay, and a needle. Where is my needle? Okay. Okay, now like this. Be prepared. And now we can make, okay, put your needle under all your things here. Okay, oops, like this and like this. And now you can make a knot to secure your pom-pom, like this, one and another one. Okay, now we are ready to liberate it from our rectangular form shape, okay, like this. And we can also cut it here. Okay, so here we are. Now here I have my pom-pom, and I just have to sew it into the chain 4 space. I want to put my 2 strands here of yarn, and like this, and I just want to insert my hook into this space, chain 4 space, and to insert the hook underneath your knot like this. And now we have to go around like this. Okay. That's enough. Can you see what I have here? And now just 2 or 3. Okay. To secure here. Just to secure. Oh, come on, you can do it, I know you can. Okay. Here I have my pom-pom ready. Now here. Again, into the chain 4 space. And again here. Oops. And here we are. With our pom-pom. And the same thing, of course. I put this around for 10 times, so I will put for my second one around for 10 times, of course. Okay. Now, I'm ready with my pom-pom. I will cut this yarn too at the same, and here it is. Okay, so this is my hat. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and okay, at the next tutorial.